eat at school because we don't want to take the time to prepare a lunch at home and send with them. But you work with children all over the country that are overweight. Their parents are wanting help on good nutrition and how to get their kids motivated to diet. What started you in this field?
Well, what got us started was our daughter. She was overweight. We decided we wanted to do something to help her, and there was nothing out there for children. So we came up with our own program, and
it's called 45pounds.com.
Yes, 45pounds.com. And when we saw how much happier she was and how it helped her, we just wanted to help other kids, and because it made such a big difference in her life. So we just wanted other kids to have that same chance, and we knew there was nothing out there.
And it helps their self-esteem as well as their physical appearance, and for diseases that are also associated with overweight children and adults.
And diabetes is a real big problem among children right now. And it's not, diabetes is just one of them. Kids that are overweight now are at a higher risk of coming down with colon cancer in their late 20s, early 30s, and it's unbelievable.
Well, we mentioned your website, but another resource you have is a cookbook, and I thought the way that you, in fact, we just picked a pizza recipe because we all love pizza, but your cookbook is unique in that it has it broken out into the various starch, fat, calories, and I think it's a good learning tool for kids to learn, wow, this may be a good pizza, but gosh, do I want to invest that much of my daily starches into just one dish? So this is kind of an example of what one of them looks like. 2 starches, 0 fruits, it has the meats, and it's a learning tool, isn't it?
It works with our program, and it is a learning tool. So we're wanting kids to know you can have good food like pizza. Just make healthier choices. Our pizza's made with less flour than what you would get in the store.
Which is a starch.
Yes, the flour is very starchy. But it's made, and it's a wonderful pizza. We have pizza every Monday night for football, and I have parents, when I would tell them that, they would call me back and tell me they had it, and they just love it. Their kids love it. So.
Good choices is what it's all about, moderation. Let me put this back out here because I think this exemplifies the fact that years ago when we'd say diet food or TV dinners or choosing alternative foods, there were not very many yummy, delicious choices, but there are lots of good choices available now.
There is. There's a lot of snacks like the rice cakes.
But rice cakes, to me, that sounds like cardboard.
5 years ago, I think they were. They were terrible. But now they've got flavored. This is cheddar cheese. We also love the ranch. And a serving is 9, the rice cakes. There's 9 rice cakes per serving, and it's only 1 starch. Actually, 9 to 10 you can count as a starch. They've got the really big ones now. Caramel, chocolate, peanut butter. My kids love them.
They sound
My
wonderful.
daughter takes them to her lunch. Her friends want to trade their brownies for them. So, I mean, they're pretty good. So,
and then we go into another idea that people may say, well, you can only have 1 carrot and 1 this and 1 that, and they're limited so much. But your program emphasizes lots and lots of food. It fills children up. It gives them lots of fuel for their day. And this is an example. My gosh, that's a lot of food.
Yes, and this is probably half the calories as this. So, and that counts with the rice cakes. So the important part of their lunches is they need their vegetables. If they don't like vegetables, you know, find a way. There's some great sugar-free dips out there, 0 calories. Also the light ranch dressings, mustards. There's things that they can put on them to make them taste better so that the kids will eat them. But the fruits got fiber, so it helps fill them up, gives them that full filling that helps last a little longer than just eating junk food. If you eat junk food, they seem to get hungry sooner because it just doesn't stick with them.
Well, and we were talking too about so many of the little smoothies and dairy products. Kids sometimes say, oh, I don't like dairy products, I don't like milk. But if they haven't tried some of the new products on the market, I think they may be surprised. And they're good for you too.
They're good for you, and they taste great. So,
they really do.
I had one this morning, the little smoothies, and they're just wonderful.
And putting things, we don't want to put the heavy, like the mayonnaise versions of salad dressings on the bread or for the sandwich, but there are alternative choices that we can develop a taste for.
Yes, and if your child doesn't like mustard, don't make them eat it. You can get the light mayonnaise or the fat-free. Just read the labels. Get the one with the less calories, which would actually be the fat-free mayonnaise. But if they don't like that, try the light. It's got a few calories, but if your kid's not going to eat it, it's not going to
do any good
help.
anyway.
Yeah,
and I
so.
think that's an important point we need to talk about is talking about resources, but also helping kids to learn at an early age to read the labels. It's kind of interesting, I think, to see what's on there. And they can learn to make a game of it or learn to help mom or dad choose the correct choices.
Well, and they get the concept pretty quick. Kids are fast learners. I had a 6-year-old girl who the mother called me and told me that she went into the store, picked up some goldfish and picked up some other food product and said, "Hey Mom, this is a starch, right?" Looks at it and picked the one with the less calories. So that says we're doing something right with our children. When the kids are able to understand what's good and what's not, it's working.
And on your website you have what's called daily meal plan programs, and it talks about suggestions, and you actually make these up. They're individualized for each child based on, I guess, how much weight they need to lose, how tall they are, how old they are.
Yes, they are customized for each child. If you take a 12-year-old girl who is about 5 foot tall, medium frame, she should weigh 105 to 110 pounds. So what we do for her is we take a profile, we ask the mother and the daughter to sit down together, give us the foods that they like, let us know what they don't like, and then we sit down and we customize a meal plan for them. So if they don't like carrots, they won't get carrots.
They don't eat carrots.
Yeah.
This is just one example of what we might see in a school cafeteria, and as we were talking about packing our own lunch, you would say, okay, the milk's good for you and the fruit's good for you, but there are lots of other calories in there and fats and carbs and starches that we don't even think about sometimes.
That is true, and it's just like the fruit. You think the fruit's good, it's in a syrup. Which the syrup is made with corn syrup.
Oh,
yes. So, and you know, you've got a lot of extra calories here, and a lot of stuff is fried that people don't think about. Even if they bake it at school or even in homes, you've always got to look at the labels, make sure it hasn't been deep fried first. And with corn dogs, they have.
They have been, and then okay. And then we can go to the fast food, which of course I think children learn at a very young age that fast foods taste good. But it may be because they've not been given choices at home for other alternatives. But let's go through a typical fast food, the French fries, of course, or I love French fries.
Well, this is just a regular fries, a regular hamburger, no cheese, nothing special. Regular fries, regular burger, and a medium drink. That's 820 calories. Now, that's not a cheeseburger, large fries. You know, everybody now wants to supersize. And not even supersize, and just take one step up to the large fries, large Coke,
or
and
add
a cheeseburger.
the cheese.
All of a sudden, you've got 1,140 calories.
And we're talking maybe, what, 1,200 to 1,400 calories a day is all that is needed.
The average child needs between 1,200 and 1,500 calories a day.
So they're actually blowing it all in one meal, so to speak.
And you know, and it doesn't stick with you. So, you know, you eat it, you love it.
At the time.
2 hours later, you're starving. And something that's really important for kids is to make sure that they get their mid-morning or mid-evening snack. Because if they can get a snack when they come home from school, they're not starving by the time they eat dinner.
Which would make them overeat then.
And then they can just sit down, have a plate full of food, have it in the right amount, the portion amount that they need for their bodies, and they will be full. They won't feel like they're starving. They won't feel like they're deprived. So snacking between meals is very important, especially if it's a healthy choice.
You made such a good point earlier when we were talking, well, let's bring it up now, about instead of having the whole bag of something or the whole carton of something, what's your suggestion?
I suggest you count it out, measure it. If it's chips, you know, the baked chips or the rice chips, count them out, put them in a bag if you need it in a bag or a plate, and then walk away with it and eat that.
Put the other
amount.
up, so you're not
tempted.
tempted.
Put it up, because if you sit down with the bag, no one counts when they're sitting there watching TV. Next thing you know, the bag's empty.
I think we've all experienced that at times, but that's a really good tip for parents and for children too. Well, thank you so much for making us aware of some things that we really should take the responsibility of doing for our own children and grandchildren. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.